All right, on this episode, we're going to be watching Ole Miss short yards runs versus Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. These are all runs that are within 2 yards of getting a first down. We get a couple second down runs, a couple third down runs, and a fourth down run in here. It's very, very crucial that when we're in these situations that we take a lot of pride in moving the chains, right? Being efficient, whether that's second down or third down. We don't want to live in those fourth down situations where we have to convert on fourth down. If we get the opportunity to convert on second down, we got to take advantage of that, especially when the offensive play caller puts it on the ground, right? If he's going to have the trust in us to convert, a big third down, we got to take a lot of pride in doing our job, being on our technique, our fundamentals, playing with low pads, playing with great speed off the line of scrimmage, and just doing whatever we can to find a way to move the chains, right? So we're going to watch a few different runs here, different schemes. The first one we have up here, Ole Miss is in the shotgun. They flip the back, and they're going to run kind of like a fullback ISO, tight end ISO, okay, and get the first down. All right, so this is early in the game. Good conversion by them. All right, perfect. Now we're going to pause this and just look at the defense for a second, okay? So when we get into these short yardage situations, we have to be alert, right? Defenses will change, especially if we bring in heavier personnel on the offensive side of the ball, right? So if we're living in 21, 22, 12 personnel, we can expect heavier defensive fronts, heavier defensive looks, sometimes be a little bit of variation. Like you'll see here, they're in that bear or jam look that we often talk about, okay? So they got a zero technique. Oh, let's change this up. Okay, so on the defensive line, in this look right now, we got zero, we got 2 wide threes, all right, and 2 5 techniques, right? With 1 linebacker stacked in the middle right here, and then a second level element right out here outside the right tackle, okay? So what they're going to do is they're going to block man on, right? They're going to block man on at every position across the board on the offensive line versus this look, right? And they're going to leave this linebacker in the middle for this tight end to come block, isolating him, right? Leaving this guy unblocked. There's 7 guys near the line of scrimmage. We got 6 blockers. That's what we're going to have to live with, right? So let's watch how they handle this. Good, they get the conversion. That's the biggest thing, right? We're not going to go play by player by player to watch everything because it's pretty simple. Block the guy in front of you. Everyone, for the most part, does their job, right? But what we really want to highlight here in this situation is this right guard, right? He does a really good job with this movement because what they're going to do is they're going to spike him to pick the center, and then they're going to wrap the nose around, right? And so it's a tough look to run the ball into when you're getting this movement up front, especially in this defense, right? So what he does a great job of is boom, getting his second step in the ground fast. Gets his second step in the ground really fast, and now he's able to redirect, and he passes this off to the center, and he collects the nose, and he gets a pancake. Really good job there by the right guard, okay? Boom, passes him off, and he finishes up on top of him, right? So, right there, really good look. Finishing on top of the guy that he started blocking, okay? So good job there. Center does a good job playing square. He can play with better pad level, but he recognizes this movement coming really fast. Like, watch the center's eyes here, okay? Center right here. He's going to get internal movement by the defensive tackle. His nose is going to try to distract him for a second before looping around, right? And so he does a great job with his eyes of getting them back to the spot right there. You see that? That little simple, see him recognize it and get his eyes to where they are? That's really cool stuff there by the center, way to recognize this, all right? Left guard, left tackle can just do a little bit better job of being more vertical, right? For the right guard right here, or the left guard right here, all right, you're in this situation where maybe it's your pregame study, or you can tell by his alignment or his weight distribution that you're getting this inside move, right? You know that's coming one way or another, right? Instead of taking a big step inside to protect yourself from that inside movement, right? I'd love to see him to step vertical with that right foot and then get the second step down fast. And if you get that inside movement, you'll be able to redirect on it and be a little bit more powerful than if you take real long steps in this situation, right? Versus movement, okay? So that's what he could clean up, right? The right tackle does a pretty good job of attacking, right? Look at that position the right tackle's in, right? Right, nope, let's go here, okay? See that position that the right tackle is in? Right, really good job. That's talking about, again, your helmet underneath his chin strap, okay? Playing with low pads, good. Nice work by the right tackle. It's a good player. All right, so they have about a yard to get. They get it. They get some movement up front from the inside defense. All right, they're running a game. Okay, one guy's unblocked. Ball finds its way through, and you convert. Well done by Ole Miss. All right, so now about yard to first down. They're kind of backed up in their own territory. They have a tight end attached on the left. They're going to motion someone over to be the kick out blocker, and this ends up being like a form of duo for a big game. All right, really cool stuff. The ball ends up bouncing. Good. Really good job. All right, so let's watch it from the other angle. All right, a little bit different look here, okay, defensively, because it's not third down. But we're going to run this play to the left, to the tight end, plus the guy coming in motion. So we got to handle up front. We're going to handle by doing a combo right here between our center and our right guard, working up to number 5. Right inside, we're going to do a combination between our left tackle and our left guard up to this linebacker right here. All right, you see that? Okay, backside tackle is going to block his man. All right, tight end is going to block defensive end. With the motion in the backfield, this defender ends up moving out, and that's who the motion man is coming to be the kick out guy on. All right, see that? Okay, so let's roll this. Good job. Okay, so I love how square the right guard is here. All right, we see the right guard. Okay, look how square he is. All right, really good job. Now, when you get into that situation, instead of staying square, all right, I love to see him climb. Okay, go climb to the second level much faster. All right, like go get on that guy. All right, there's no reason for him to wait. See how long he's waiting? Right? He could be in this situation right here and go get him. Go attack him, right? You're not helping the center right now by just pushing back on it, okay? The same thing applies for the left tackle in this case, right? I think he does a little bit better job of going to get him, but right here for the left tackle, you're working that combination with the left guard up to that linebacker, all right? We'll see right here, I'll highlight him, okay? This defensive tackle is who they're double teaming up to the linebacker. He plays inside, right? As a tackle, you feel that, get vertical now, right? Because what's going to happen if they play inside here, somebody's going to fill that B gap, right? Somebody's going to fill that spot. Maybe it's not that linebacker. Maybe it's this defense end playing the B gap, right? You never know what's going to happen, but get vertical now, right? Instead of, if we can watch here, see how long it takes him. He ends up getting there, but right here, he knows he's going away. That hip is going away from him, right? Instead of staying there, get your eyes on that linebacker and get vertical now, right? We all see that. Guy plays away, get vertical. You may even be able to help the tight end a little bit, knock that defense end back onto him. But good job. by the tight end, playing with tight hands, running his feet on contact, right? Okay, let's watch the tight end right here. He does a really good job of playing with tight hands, running his feet, and doing everything you're asked to do at the point of attack. Boom. Good job there by the tight end. Good. All right. Nice looking play that converts for another first down, right? Okay. Backside tackle is doing a good job, right? The right tackle here, all right? Doing a really good job of playing with length, playing with, look at that, playing with power, playing with, don't allow that guy to get back inside. He's just walling him off on the backside. Good job there by the right tackle. Nice play. How'd the left guard respond to that movement? Good job by the left guard. Good. Another conversion for a first down. I like first downs. There's only one thing I like more than first downs, and it's touchdowns. It goes touchdowns, first downs, then water, food. All right, cool. Let's see this play again. See what happens here. Seems like a very, very similar type play, just not bringing in the motion from so far. At a pistol. Good. And he converts. Wow. Looks like that play is going to be dead. And out of pure will, the running back gets the first down. All right. So they shift, right? They shift, trying to get the offensive line to false start. Maybe a little bit of a holding. A little holding at right guard. See, does it get called? I don't see it. All right, let's talk through this schematically and from a technique standpoint. Right there. All right, cool. So this is a tough defense to run this play against, right? But I think they do a pretty good job considering all the moving parts, right? So center, left guard, working a combination up to here to that linebacker, right? Right tackle is man, or left tackle, I'm sorry, is man on the defense end. Now on the play side, on the right side, they're trying to combo right guard, right tackle to this linebacker, right? Leaving the defensive end for that tight end type, and then bringing number one across the formation to be the kick out guy. All right. So what I really like here is I like the right guard's ability to keep his eyes up and see this coming, right? His technique on the linebacker may not be perfect per se, but his eyes, I love how he sees that blitzing linebacker, right? It'd be very easy for him to miss, but he's able to get on him and not allow him to get a tackle in the backfield, right? He just got to play with lower pads and continue to move those feet on contact, right? Don't try to hug him. Just explode into it like you would a defensive tackle and run your feet, right? Have your eyes up in your stance so you can see that. Good. All right. Great job by the right tackle. All right, let's make sure we highlight the right tackle here, okay? Really good job by him on this down block, right? He's going to get movement to him with that defensive tackle with this linebacker blitz in the A-gap, right? They're working that combination, so it essentially turns into a solo down block for him, okay? And he does a really good job of making contact low, driving his feet, and getting a pancake block. Okay, I love how he's attacking. Look at that finish, right? Really good job here by the right tackle. Boom, go attack. Big time finish on a short yardage situation. Love to see that, right? Love to see a short yardage play, and you look up, or you look on the film, and you got this situation right here, right? Offensive lineman on top of a defensive lineman. Great job by him. Okay. Good job by the left guard here, collecting this movement, just not moving his feet much, right? I'd love to see this guy play moving his feet a little bit more. He doesn't even move his right step, his right foot at all. Good. Good movement by the left tackle. He's got a defender inside that he's one-on-one with, steps inside to protect himself. Pretty good job there by the left tackle. Good job by the tight end. Oh, just stay on him now, tight end, right? You enter good. Just continue using those hands. Center gets picked off on his way up by the pancake block, unfortunately, right? But with all that being said, some not perfect technique, they get the first down. Good. Oh, another first down here. Oh, it's a direct snap, a little trickeration. Okay, direct snap to the running back, and he gets stuffed in the backfield. Let's watch it from the other angle. Oh, fourth down too. Whew. All right. So, I don't know if they just didn't think these linebackers paid attention or what, but this is our quarterback right here. The center is right here. All right, so clearly some sort of trickeration, trying to make them think something is happening. They end up just doing a direct snap to the running back in this case, but still send motion. Oh. All right, let's try to figure out what this play was supposed to be. Shoot, I'm not really sure what this is supposed to be, right? It looks like some sort of like dive play, zone play, but we got right tackle going to the left, left tackle going to the right, right? So some form of miscommunication here, even at the highest levels, right? This is a big-time playoff game. Some really good SEC teams playing against each other, and you can tell here there's clearly some miscommunication about what's supposed to happen. We could do our best to try to guess, right? And if I had to guess what they were trying to do, I don't know. I don't know what they're trying to do here, right? This is a play that didn't work, and it didn't work for a reason, right? It's because I don't think they were on the same page. Defensive line is giving a lot of movement. Looks like they're getting knocked off their combinations. The tight end on the right, 85, is getting knocked back into the play. All right, so this is a pretty ugly looking play from an otherwise pretty good game from these guys, right? And unfortunately, in a critical moment, it's kind of hard to tell who's the play side here and who's the backside. Not a good look, especially when you got offensive linemen not blocking defensive linemen, two guys blocking the same linebacker. All right, ugly. We won't spend much time looking at this. This is an example of not everything is perfect throughout the game, but it's about how you respond to this. And they found a way to respond, right? So won't spend too much time going over something that we don't really know what it is. All right, so now it's looks like 3rd and 2, maybe 3rd and 3. Doing a sweep play, doesn't get it, right? Doesn't get it again. It's a misdirection. They're doing GT counter away and handing off the sweep to the right. Potential opportunity to pull by the quarterback if this was an option by him. Looks like from the other angle, maybe we'll see it better, but they didn't get it. Okay, so it's 2nd down, 2nd and 2.5, 2 yards. All right, so this is something that we haven't covered a lot. This is going to fall into that counter category of gap scheme, right? So this is guard tackle counter, right? GT counter, it's called often for short. Okay, so when we talk about GT counter, our first puller is going to be our guard, right? He's pulling to kick out, and then we have our tackle, the second puller, pulling to fill, right? He'll fill to the linebacker spot. In this case, I don't know if it was automatic give or if it was a read, but it looks like the read or the quarterback keep part of this was there. Okay, so let's see what happened on this play. Good. Right, if he would have kept this play, it looks like opportunity for, or kept this ball, it looks like a better opportunity for a play on the right. All right, but let's talk through the blocking of these gap scheme plays, right? We haven't spent a lot of time talking about gap scheme. Hasn't been a huge play recently or as big of a play as it maybe was in the early 2000s, but you got a combination here. Now when we're talking about gap scheme combinations, they kind of change names a little bit. For that guard tackle combo to the backside linebacker, I call that a deuce, right? A deuce block. Now, if this was zone, they're working to a play side linebacker, that would be a double, right? So just having to be able to, different words, because they're working to different linebackers and on different angles, right? And now this linebacker is going to be blocked by our backside tackle, who'll be pulling to enter into the first hole, once he gets past the center, and then low pads go blow up the linebacker, right? Let's see how they handle this on the play side with the tight end. There's a few ways you can do it. They go man on the tight end, right? There's a couple ways that you can do this with that 6 technique. One way you can do it is just like they do it, just block him, right? Just block him with that tight end. Now that pulling guard will fit off of that block, and hopefully we get a guy feeling the kick out, right? Or another way we could do it is you arc out the tight end, and now you're pulling the backside guard to kick out the defensive end, pulling the backside tackle, right, to go block the linebacker. On the play side, now we're in a deuce all the way to number 3 from our right guard, right tackle, and then center is blocking back, right? So it falls into that gap scheme category. Instead of it being a guard kicking out and a fullback leading or a tight end leading, now it's fullback or guard kicking out and the backside tackle is the one leading, right? So GT counter goes into the gap scheme category of plays, okay? And since they handed off the kind of that sweep misdirection, we won't spend too much time talking about it, but it would have been nice to see the quarterback keep the ball here and follow that tackle, right, on the play side right here. Okay, so, but not my play design. All right, didn't get it. And again, these are just their runs from short yardage situations. So they did have some other short yardage situations. I think 3 more that ended up being passes. Wow, look at the movement by the left guard. Okay, so the ball starts on the 12-yard line. Wow, let's highlight him. Okay, so the ball started about the 12-yard line. About right here. Look at the left guard and his guy. He's walking him off the line of scrimmage. He's already 3 yards back from where the play started. Okay, so that's really cool. We'll be able to watch his technique better from the other angle, but you can just see the movement off the offensive line by not just only him, but that whole Ole Miss group. Like, look at all those guys past the 10-yard line or right around the 10-yard line, okay, on Ole Miss, offensive lineman blocking, right? The ball started about the 12. Okay, so look at, there's four out of the 5 guys are, 2 yards past the line of scrimmage. And it looks like they just got it. Okay. All right, so they're running like a form of split zone, right? Inside zone to the left with that tight end on the backside or on the play side now coming to block the backside, right? Let's see if we can let them get set up. So the defense doesn't really get set up, so it's hard to talk through aiming points or landmarks that we're supposed to work combinations up to, okay? But just having some sense of understanding of the numbers, right, as an offensive lineman can help you play faster, right? Even though they're not all lined up, and it looks like number 19 is playing out, okay? Block, left tackle, man on, left guard, man on. Now these two guys, just work on your tracks, on your angle to the play side, through the nose to the first element in the box, right? Just even if you don't get an opportunity to really make a call because the ball is snapped fast, right? Just understand we're working inside zone to the left here. So take a left step, block whatever's on my angle to the second level, right? Blocking first level, second level on that path. Now backside tackle, right? So the right tackle here, all right? Understand there's nobody on the backside. No linebacker, no second level element on the backside, right? Because where is that second level element? He seems to be right here, coming towards the edge, right? So if you feel that and you don't have anyone to go get, if he would block man on right here, now that backside tight end who's going on that sift block across will block that guy in the box. There's an opportunity for a huge cutback, especially if we can get number 3 blocked through this combination right here all the way up to him, right? There's a good chance that this ball could end up winding back this direction for a big run, okay? But I don't think the right tackle recognized that. I don't know what the communication was. No one blocks that backside defensive end, and he's the one who makes the tackle, right? And there's no one for the right tackle to work up to, so he's just a wasted body, right? Be able to communicate quickly and thoroughly as a center is huge, but being able to listen, right, and understand what the center is trying to say, right? I don't know their calls if the defense isn't lined up. Sometimes there's a tracks call or something to tell everyone just take their path. But even if the right tackle, right, you're stepping up to go to the left, right? You see there's no one there. Stop right here, right? If this tackle would have stopped right here and blocked him, understanding this backside guy or play side guy is coming for the backside, right? The C's would have parted right here in the backside B gap, okay? So the center ends up getting on number 3. So just having a little bit of understanding, first level to second level. If there's no one there at the second level, it doesn't make sense just to go to no one. And again, watch the left guard here, okay? Let's make sure we highlight the left guard in this case, okay? Does a great job of walking his guy off the ball. Watch this. Guy's not in his stance yet. Boom, big time play. Now at the end, let's see why he gets thrown off. Look at his feet. They start to get stacked, right? Instead of keeping his base, look how close his feet are even here, right? Being this big of a dude, it's hard to keep your balance and keep your strength when your feet are that close, right? Try to keep more of a base and you'll be stronger throughout the block, and then he won't be able to get thrown off like this. Good. Pretty good job. Another really good job here by, let's watch the right guard here, okay? So the right guard lined up right here, all right? He's on his path this direction. Defense isn't lined up yet, but that doesn't mean that you can't be physical. Watch him, boom, go attack, run his feet, and then he finishes with a pancake, right? Good. All right, so those were all the short yardage runs by Ole Miss in their playoff game versus Georgia, okay? So we saw a few different types of scheme, some zone schemes, some gap schemes, the duo scheme, a few different ways of getting that. But then again, just reminder, right? When we get into those short yardage situations, we have 2 or less yards. We have to take a lot of pride in getting those first downs, right? We need to be living in first down, not 3rd and short all game or 4th and short all game, right? If we can go first down, second down, 3rd down, get a first down, right? We're in a great situation moving the chains, right? But we don't want to always be constantly relying on our best plays on 4th down, right? We should be able to run our efficient offense throughout the game. So appreciate you watching. Until next time, thank you.